In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to pack up the kit at the conclusion of the semester. And so this is important because what you're doing is you're preparing the kit for the students who will be taking the course next year. And so you want to do this carefully and neatly just to keep everything organized. So the first place we're going to start, we're going to remove the batteries from the temperature sensors. And you can keep the batteries if you purchase them, or if they came with the kit, you can keep them as well. The reason why we want you to remove the batteries is to minimize the possibility of corrosion from the sensors themselves, or from the electronics, I should say. And because the kits will be sitting for a year until the students in next year's class use them. And consequently, this is good practice so that we don't damage the electronics. Okay, now that we've removed the batteries from all of the electronic components of the sensors, the second step is going to be to wrap up the cables for the sensors to make them nice and neat. So we'll begin that process. Hopefully, I told you to keep the twist ties and the rubber bands. Hopefully you have them. If not, find another twist tie or a rubber band that would be appropriate for keeping the cables neat. So I'll go about and do that now. And for the DS1s, the rubber band goes around twice, so it's a double loop with the rubber band. Okay, so now we have all of the sensors and they are wrapped up. The next thing to do is to put them back into the boxes. So we'll go about doing that now. And given that these are kind of angled shape sensors, what we can do is we kind of tuck the cables into the top and then we can slide them in that way. So again, you put the cables on the top. This one I didn't make it short enough, but it should still work. And then what you do is you slide it into the box. And given that the box is square or rectangular and we have a triangular shape, they fit in nice and neat. Okay, there we have all the DS1s packed up. Now what we'll do the HTC2. And for the HTC2, you'll notice there's a little enclosure on the back of the plastic case, and that is where the sensor wires go. And it's also where the little suction cup and the other housing, this is if you wanted to mount the sensor outside or something like that, but that goes in that enclosure as well. And then we just close it up. So there we have the sensors all packaged up and ready to go. The next step that we'll do, we'll take the Ziploc bag. Hopefully you kept the Ziploc bag. If not, grab another Ziploc bag somewhere. So what we'll do, we'll take the two little rubber sheets and put them together, and then put them in the bottom of the Ziploc bag, flat. And then take your three thin washers and stack them together. So these are the three thin washers. We stack them together and put them at the bottom on the top. And then add each of the other thicker washers right next to where you have the other one stacked. Make it nice and flat, and then zip it shut. There we go. So now we have our washers and the flexible strips all nice and neatly packed up. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to put the pipes and the cork and the pink insulation back into the smaller shoebox. So what we'll do here, it doesn't really matter the orientation that you do this, but start with the foam insulation and put that in the left-hand side. And then take your 4 cork sheets that have notches. So these are the ones that have the cutout for the sensors to go through, and put those in next. And then the last two are the two cork sheets that do not have cutouts. Those go on the top in the left. So that's the cork and the insulation. And then on the right-hand side, that's where we'll be putting the piping and the PVC fittings. So what we'll do, we'll start with the 6-inch PVC pipe that we use for the calibration experiment, followed by the 2 4-inch with the holes. And so put those side by side like that, and then take 2 of the 2 inches and put that at the end of the 4 inches. So there you have 6 inches total. Now we can take the 2 3 inches and stack them next to the other pipes. And at this point, what I want you to do is take the threaded adapters. There should be 4 of those. So take those and stack them one on top of each other like this. So now they are all stacked. And then what you can do is you can put those in this space next to the pipe. And what we have left are 2 small pieces of 2 inch. So we can put one there and another one on the side like that. Now we go to the PVC pipe fittings. So we'll start with the T pipe fitting, and we'll put that on the bottom and then put another one above it so that they're nestled together. We then go to the 90-degree elbows, and we put those up at the top of the kit, like so. Then we take our ball valve, and the ball valve can go on top like that in that space. And then you just add the remaining fittings. So you have the 45-degree, you have the 1/2 inch to the 3/4 adapter, and the 2 1/2-inch caps. And those can just go inside like that. And then what I want you to do, take your Ziploc bag with the washers and the grippy strips and throw that on top. For those of you who are going to be shipping the kits back, be it international or domestic, what I did ask you to do is to keep the packing peanuts that would have come with the kit. And so at this point, what you can do if you're going to be shipping it, add some of the packing peanuts here and put some on the side of the cork, just so that the cork doesn't go bouncing around, which could damage it during shipping. So for those of you who are going to be shipping, I would ask that you do that. For the rest of you, you don't need to do that because you don't have the packing peanuts. I never gave those to you. So we'll move the batteries out of the way. So at this point, what we can do is we can take the lid for the smaller shoebox, and we can put it down. Sometimes they have a certain direction that they go in where they click. There, that worked better, where you could hear both sides click in, and so it's much better fit than the other way. So we can put that off to the side now. So that is now complete and ready to be shipped. Or to be put together. Now what we do, we take our larger shoebox, and the first thing we want to do is take our flexible hose and we put it at the back like so. And if you can have the brass fittings kind of down to the bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll take the smaller shoebox and we'll put it inside like this. And we adjust the hose so that the hose is not impeding. It actually goes around this smaller shoebox, and then that way it can rest flat. Then what we do, we take our 10-inch copper and we put that in. And then we take our individual sensors and we put them at the back. So these are the DS1s. So we put them there. And we take our HTC2 and we put it on the top. And what I'll also do, I'll be putting a form on the website and on D2L, and it's kind of a damaged product report. And so if you do find any of the equipment damaged, I would like for you to fill that out, to print it out and to fill it out, and to place it at the top of the box under the HTC2. And that way, when we receive the kits, what we'll do, we'll go through and inspect them, and that will help us to know that there is some component within the kit that has been damaged. And what you're doing is you're helping students in future years or next year who will be taking the course and using the kits. And so it's at this point that those that are shipping international, again, take more of your foam peanuts and you can drop those in and just kind of scatter them about so that the kit, again, is protected and it doesn't go sloshing around as it's shipping. And then what we do, we take the final cap and put it in. And there we go. So we have the kits back together. Again, those who are shipping, you will have the shipping box that you can then put this inside of. I gave you the return labels, and you can put that on the box. And when you do put this box back in the cardboard box, what I would ask you to do is, again, add more of the packing foam or the packing peanuts around the box, just that this doesn't go rattling around as it's shipping. So that is how you put the kit back together at the conclusion of the semester. Thank you.